Raise your glass, remember who you are, and join the Brotherhood.
Gentle soul and kind, but she ate some mops behind the barn and nearly lost her mind. She didn't move, she didn't low, she didn't make a peep until she opened up her mouth while everyone's asleep. Out came a sound so deep and dark, it rattled all the glass. It sounded like a thundercloud rolling through the grass. It wasn't high, it wasn't sweet, it wasn't thin or small. It was the deepest bassman's voice inside the county hall. The local choir was practicing inside the parish rooms. They needed someone powerful to banish all the glooms. Belle walked in and took a stand beside the tenor boys and drowned out all the fiddles with her operatic noise. The priest, he dropped his prayer book and he stared in pure surprise to see a heifer singing hymns with fire in her eyes. She hit a note so low and long it shook the steeple down, and now she's the celebrity of every Irish town. Forget the soprano, forget the guitar, the cow is the biggest musical star. Oh, she's the bass singing cow with a voice like a drum. She makes the floor tremble and the windows all hum with a wag of her tail and a deep rolling sound. She's the heaviest singer that's ever been found. That's ever been found. Now Belle, she has a contract and she travels in a van. She's got a group of roadies and a fancy personal fan. She won't eat grass, she won't eat hay, she only wants the stout to keep her vocal billows strong and help the music out. So if you hear a rumbling that's coming from the field, don't think it's just a tractor or a broken garden yield. It's only Bella warming up to sing a rebel song, and all the lads in Murphy's bar will surely sing along. Deep as the ocean, deep as the ocean, low as the ground, the finest conductor that Belle ever found. Belle, 2, 3, drop the bass. 1, 2, 3, drop the bass. Oh, she's a bass singing cow with a voice like a drum. She makes the floor tremble and the windows all hum with a wag of her tail and a deep rolling sound. She's the heaviest singer that's ever been found. She's a star, she's a queen, ain't nothing more that you've ever seen. She's a star, she's the queen, the deepest voice that you've ever seen. You've ever seen. Old Sean was 97 and his knees were out of gear. Old Billy was a rival for 100 bloody year. They sat in Murphy's corner with a scowl upon their face until the fiddler started with a heavy rhythmic pace. I'll show you how it's done, said Sean, and stood up with a roar. He kicked his wooden walking stick across the dusty floor. He did a double shuffle and he did a triple spin with a look of pure defiance on his beard and wrinkled chin. But Billy wasn't having it. He jumped upon a chair and swung his tattered jacket through the smoky tavern air. He landed with a thunder that began to shake the walls and answered with a rhythm like 1,000 waterfalls. The youngsters stopped their drinking and they gathered in a ring to watch the two old lions do their wild and crazy thing. The barman started betting and the music started fly. The sparks began to flicker in each old man's angry eye. Left foot fire, right foot flame, neither one is acting tame. Oh, it's a battle of the ages on the floor danced across the bar. They danced until they reached the moon and every single star. Their aches and pains were vanished and their troubles were forgot. They were hotter than the steam inside a boiling coffee pot. In the end they grabbed each other and they finished with a bow. I guess you're not so bad, said Billy, wiping off his brow. They sat back in the corner and they ordered up a round. The finest pair of dancers that the county ever found. Can you kick it? Yes. Can you flick it? Yes. Are you old? No. Are you bold? No. Show 'em how. On the floor of Murphy's bar, they're dancing like a lightning bolt and shining like a star. With the fiddle and the guitar and a bucket full of beer, the loudest, wildest contest that you've seen in many a year. Still got it, said they, never lost it, said they. The older the fiddle, the sweeter the tune. Dublin Star to fill up the cellars of every local bar. When a shadow appeared beneath the harbour wall, the biggest damn fish that was ever seen by all. He didn't want a worm and he didn't want a fly. He had a look of longing in his giant fishy eye. He jumped onto the pier with a splash and a roar and headed for the barrels by the warehouse door. He bit off the cork and he swallowed down the stout with a happy little scaly little snout. He finished off a barrel, then he finished off a 10. Then he looked around the harbour for to find some more again. The captain started shouting. to dig a hole behind the garden shed. He found a monster in the dirt, or so the neighbor said. It wasn't gold, it wasn't coal, it wasn't any dud. It was a 20-pounder, boys, a giant Irish spud. He brought it to the kitchen and he set it on the floor. But then the potato started for to rumble and to roar. It grew a pair of hairy legs, it grew a pair of feet, then started dancing Irish chicks to a heavy metal beat. The spud, it grabbed a bottle and it swallowed down a drop, and then it started spinning like a frantic spinning top. It jumped onto the table and it rattled all the plates. It was the finest dancer in the whole United States. The local priest came running in, he couldn't believe his eyes to see a dancing vegetable of such a massive size. He tried to say a blessing, but the potato kicked his hat and did a triple shuffle on the tail of Murphy's cat. It's round and brown and tough and grand, the greatest dancer in the land. Oh, it's the dancing Spud of Donegal, the king of every hop. Once he starts his rhythm, boys, he's never gonna stop. With a fiddle and a whistle and a heavy rock and roll, he's a giant salty tuber with a rebel Irish soul. Doesn't work no more, he's traveling the world with a banner of the potato proudly, loudly unfurled. They play the grandest stages from Dublin to New York, and the Spud, he does a solo that would put you off your work. So if you're digging in your field, be careful what you find. You might just leave your quiet life and sanity behind. For a potato that can dance a jig and drink a pint of ale is the hero of